Kyle. So here we are looking at Kerbal Space Program. I quite enjoy this game. I'm going to take you through some of the things that are in the game and what my current goal is. And I think you're going to be finding this to be a really interesting game. Sorry, I'm a little stuffed up right now. Anyways, before we get in, this is the vehicle assembly building. This is where I build my rocket. This is the launch pad where we take off. This is another vehicle assembly building, but this is for space planes. This is for plane shapes. This is for rocket shapes. Administration building, we'll have a quick look here. These are some available pilots. In fact, I'm going to hire somebody new. I need to have a replacement. Look at the Dilber here. Dilber's pretty cool. I'm going to hire Dilber, and I'm going to put him at the top of the list. Okay, so right now, Jebediah. You know, this is my national hero. I'll talk about him more in a minute. He did all my original space flights and orbits, and you know, he's done all of the achievements. This guy is like the most famous astronaut ever on any planet. Okay, so I've got my new pilot here, Dilber. I'm gonna make sure I use him. He's looking pretty good. All right, let's go back. This is the technical center. So this is the technical tree that you can expose so far. As you can see, I've been playing it a little bit. This isn't a great deal, but so each one of these, of course, rather typical. You get science points on your missions, and I'll. Okay, sorry, I had to sneeze. You get science points, which I'll show you how that happens in a later video, and then you use the science points to research new technology branches. This one is worth 90 science. I've only got 23 right now, and I'm not really sure which one I want to do next, but we'll see what's going on. I'm not too worried about that right now. This is the history of all of the experiments that you've been able to do so far. So a surface sample from the water, another one from the water, another one. This is from the space launch pad. And this is something you kind of want to do, is get surface samples wherever you land your craft. And I happened to, you know, very first, you just hop out of the pod and take a surface sample right there on the launch pad. Why not? It's worth a lot of science points. From the desert, the highlands, and then we have EVA reports from space. EVA, you know, that's when you're floating out in space without a spaceship. Material study while near Kerbal. We got some high over the moon. So I've already orbited the moon. We did some neat stuff. If we look here, this is the whole solar system. We got the sun. We're in Kerbal, third rock from the sun. And we have two satellites, moons up there. We got Mun and Minmus. And Minmus is my current target. This is where I want to get to. So I built a new ship, and I'm going to try and launch it into and take off towards Minmus. And that's all I'm going to do in this video. Show you a few more things. And we got other planets that are in orbit around the sun, which I'll show you in a minute. And then way out in a weird orbit is this dude, Elo. And you can go into Muhu. And I think you can do stuff around the sun too, like if you want to get in for a close orbit around the sun. Maybe burn up something into its atmosphere, whatever. Okay, so Jebediah, my national hero. He was making an attempt at a close moon survey. He wasn't going to land, but he was going to do really low orbits and do some science while he was in orbit. And there's Jebediah, and there's the moon way over there. This is Kerbal. Let's go get close to him. So you can see here he is out floating in space on his way to the moon. There's Kerbal. You can see our our galaxy, kind of like the Milky Way we see at night here. There's the sun, and there's the moon. Ooh. You can see we're a lot closer to the moon than we are to Kerbal. Alright, let's go have a look at our map, and you can see we're actually in moon influence. We've even got a moon periapsis coming up in 1 hour and 5 minutes. Now, what's really cool is all I gotta do is add a maneuver here. I'm going to slow him the heck down. And boom, we're into an orbit. And that's really all I would want to do right now, is actually just get it into orbit. Well, maybe not quite that brief an orbit. A little extra fuel, get him down under 1 million. Okay, see, I'm not in a hurry, So I would just slow him down, get him into orbit. That's not even a big burn. Well, I'd have to fast forward a bit to get the burn going. But it's not a big burn, and I have enough fuel to do it. A lot of fuel. Pretty much full. That's why I wanted to do a low Earth, because I knew, or a low orbit. I knew it was going to take a lot of fuel to slow down to get that close, and then to leave orbit and come back to Kerbal. And I was pretty sure this guy was going to be able to accomplish everything. He's already orbited the moon a few times in my last mission. Jebediah here. Yay, Jebediah. Let's have a look. So this is what Jebediah sees on his inside. Oh, there's the moon. Look at the moon. Oh, how cool is that? Unfortunately, Jebediah ran into a problem. The designer of his particular spacecraft apparently forgot that new unlocked additions to the spacecraft, like McJeb here, use electricity. So what happened is, once the internal batteries of the module ran out, there's no more electricity. So if we look at our resources up here, you can see we got, you know, lots of monopropellant. That's just a part of the module. I can't do much about that. Lots of fuel, but no electricity. Without electricity, I can't rotate the spacecraft to point it in the right direction. And if I'm not pointing in the right direction when you do the burn, you go off in some other direction, and that's what's going to happen. So what I'm going to do with him is I'm just going to say, Jebediah, you are going to be a deep space explorer. If we back off, just leaving him alone, he's going to end up swinging out here, and eventually he's going to fall back into Earth orbit, or Kerbal orbit. I got a good saying that. And you can see he'll have a pretty big orbit, but he'll just be out here circling Kerbal at a pretty big elliptical orbit. His periapsis will be 3 million meters. Wow. But later on, when I figure it out, I will go out with another rescue ship, and he will do the first ship-to-ship transfer out there floating in space. So that should be cool. Okay, so I'll get out of here. Alright, oh, actually, sorry, there is one more thing I needed to show you before we go look at the rocket. Okay, so here he is. There's Kerbal. There's the moon. So there's Kerbal, and this is the moon, and this is the moon's orbit around Kerbal. And you see this other purple line on here? Well, this is Minmus. There's Minmus. She's way out there, traveling fast. Well, actually, sorry, slow compared. And if we back out some more, so there's Kerbal's orbit around the sun. And now we get to see where the other planets are. Eve, Mortal, there's the sun, Duna, Dre, Jewel, and then the weird one, Elo, which does this big elliptical orbit. She really ducks inside, so this is where you want to connect up with her if you're going to try and go out to Elu. And then you're going to spend a lot of time. Either connect here and spend a short time now, or go all the way around. Anyways, zooming back in. Alright. So this rocket I'm building for Minmus. Now if you're a Kerbal player, you know what you're doing, you're maybe experienced. Please don't flame me in the comments if what you see is totally messed up. This is just, you know, me trying to learn how to be a rocket scientist, right? That's what the whole game is about. Everybody does their own thing. Okay, so let's go in here. Now I'm trying to get to Minmus, and my biggest concerns are A, having enough fuel to be able to launch into Minmus influence, stopping and slowing down far enough to get into Minmus orbit, and then leaving, and that will take the biggest amount of fuel, just those two actions. Leaving Minmus orbit back to Kerbal won't take a great deal, but it'll still be a big chunk. And then eventually you gotta slow down and land. So it's So it's first couple of steps that are going to use the biggest amount of fuel. And then, of course, lessons learned from Jebediah's mission. I've got lots of batteries on this. I do have to make one or two last additions. I left them just to show you what's going on. And so here it is, Minmus shot. Alright, you ready for this? This is a crazy rocket, man, but whatever. There she be. And then I'm going to put my new hire astronaut into the cabin here, and you can see I've got lots of batteries. But I don't have solar cells or anything yet. I haven't unlocked them on the tree, so I don't know how bad of an idea this is or not. So I put lots of batteries on. Okay, I'm going to change my crew out. Sorry, Bill. Your brothers need your help back here. Dilber, you're up. Alright, by the way, just so you know, this matters nothing at all to the game. They don't actually drive the spaceship or anything at all, like nothing. Okay, let's go back to the parts list. I'm gonna add some extra bracing. Okay, so let's have a look at what we got here. First stage, all engines fire. There's lots of engines on this bad boy. And then, these are solid fuel boosters. They're gonna fall off, and these are gonna keep firing. Now these are, I can't remember what the name of the way they're rigged up, but if we come down and look, we'll see these three tanks, like there's 6 of them, so they're divided up into 2 areas. So this tank feeds into this tank, and this tank feeds into the main tank on the main rocket. And the reason is your fuel gets diverted, so you can end up dropping these 3 stacks at the appropriate time and save on the weight while these ones are still going, and then you drop them, and that way you're actually using a much better weight ratio. Anyways, I needed to put some bracings in here, make sure I've got that on 3. Put that there. Another one. Well, not there. And then the last set will go here. Perfect. Oh, there's still one more. Why? There, okay. And just for S's and G's. I don't think I need to put them on every one, but so they're like on every second one. So good enough. It's really more than I need anyways, I'm pretty sure. Now the last step is just to put some gantries on here so the thing doesn't fall over. Why don't you stick? Okay, so down here in the right, you can see these are all gantries. I just got to move them up into the same stages where the engines fire. Otherwise, what would happen is the first stage is the gantries would like go and the rocket would fall down. Trust me, that's exactly what happens. And I know, for obvious reasons. Okay, we're just going to save this. Alright, so that's my rocket. Now the idea is that all of these, and if we have a look at our Delta V stats that MacJeb has given us, this first stage has a, wow, this is the thrust to weight ratio, and 2.49, that is huge. That is really, really big. That is actually really huge. But what I need to do is is I need to get as much fuel up into space as I can. So all of these rocket engines and solid boosters are going to get me up to a fairly fast speed fairly quickly. Then they're going to blow off, and I'll drop the throttle from full throttle down a little bit, and then lean her over as we pass through 10,000. And the idea is that I want to end up in space with this whole middle stack full. And then we're going to do our maneuver and head out towards Minmus. And that burn is going to take up this entire tank and maybe a little bit of this, but I'm really hoping not. But it's going to take up at least this thing. And, okay, so let's go to the launch pad. Oh, look at that. It's an evening launch even. Nice. So there's the sun. And this is us on the launch pad. We can zoom in a bit here. You can see where we are. Kind of right on the equator. Good place to launch from. And there's the beast. Alright, so let's just have a look at what's going on here. Why is Bill in here? Oh, shoot. Hang on. Drag and drop it. That worked. Okay. So down here in the bottom right, we should see Dilber. I need somebody courageous on this because they're going to do a low Minmus EVA science expedition. Hey Dilber, how you doing, man? So there's my rocket on the launch pad. I'm going to zoom out a bit. The battery packs, I love how they look in this light. There's my flag. There's the VAB. The other building, our space center, our technology center. And there's space. Okay, so if you've never seen a Kerbal launch before, hang on to your hats. This is intense. So down here, this is my nav ball. First, I'm going to turn on SAS. Stabilization unit helps keep the rocket pointed up. Over here, you see this little one, I'm going to throttle up. Up it goes, up it goes, up it goes. Okay, max throttle. We are ready for takeoff. I'm going to move this just out of the way here. So these little windows here are all provided by the MacJeb unit. This dude right there, that's MacJeb. And they give you lots of really great information. And my goal is to hit an apoapsis of about 350,000 meters. And right from there, I'm going to launch straight out to Minmus. Okay, so we are all set. Throttle's up. All right, let's hit the button in 3, 2, 1. And if you hear some noise, that's me just plugging in my headphones. Okay, I'm really sorry about that. Alright, so let's get that cable out of the way. Stupid cable. Okay, resume flight. Where are we Okay, great. Good enough. So there we are. We got a pretty big fuel chunk, I guess. Let's have a look at what we got here. Our stage. We got 1 minute and 6 seconds on this stage left, eh? Interesting. Okay, so let's have a look at where we are. So there we are. We left. We've launched. We've gone that far. Our goal is to meet up with Minmus somewhere way out there. Now, if I'm still correct, I should be able to just add a maneuver right there and just crank the engines to escape Kerbal. Okay, so there's our moon encounter, but we're just going to actually blow by the moon. We're going to use the moon to help us a bit. There it is. Maybe. Where'd it go? Oh, did I lose my encounter? I think I did. Yeah. Damn it, where is it? Hang on, I gotta start over. There's something I missed. just a little bit lighter. Okay, there's the moon. There's Minmus. So let me just slow down a bit here. Where to go? I know there was an interceptor around here somewhere. That's not it. Where is it? There's it. Oops, I screwed that up. Okay, that's still not quite where I was expecting to meet it, but we're gonna go for it. Okay, because I can adjust when I get closer, that's fine. But that's a huge burn. I should be able to do it. Okay, down here on the nav ball, I'm going to point myself in the right direction. And look at how close I am to that burn time anyways. 1 minute, 23 seconds. Wow. So this is not going to be good. I don't think I'm really doing the right thing here to get to Minmus, but whatever. It's going to work. Okay, let's get this big ass ship to rotate properly. A little more. Okay, right there. Hold her steady, buddy. Okay, just a bit back, just a bit back. Okay, right there. Hold her still there, bud. What's your name? Jeb? Durbin? Durbin? Turbin? I don't know. Okay, so that is a big shot. Alright, I'm going to have to go for it. Oh, I'm supposed to be on the throttle already. Damn. Oh well. Let's do it. So I'm going to have to do a couple of adjustments here to actually get there, but I'm okay with that. So as we're accelerating, you can see our actual path is expanding. So our periapsis is climbing, and you know what? I'm actually not going to do this. I'm actually just going to kind of get into a half-decent orbit here. Oh well, too late. Let's get her back on the path here, and let's keep her on target. We got about 27 seconds of burn left. This is going to work. Done. Oh, that worked out good. That was exactly the type of timing I was hoping to get. Okay, let's see where we're doing. Hi. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Something odd happened. Anyways, as I was saying to myself, we need to make another burn here in just a minute. Just to kind of adjust from where I was. There we go. Oops. There. Actually, no, we don't. So I'm just going to delete what we just did, get it out of the way, and let's have a look at where we are. We're not quite on track, are we? No. So I'm going to find my direction here, and I'm going to add a quick little maneuver to get me back on track. Okay. 22. That's not enough. Alright, I'm going to have to do it there. So it's a 3-second burn. You can see down here at the bottom right of the nav ball. And, alright, we're pointing in the right direction. So I'm going to hit this at about the 2-second mark. Whoops. Let's just have a look at the big map and see where we are. I'm going to give it a bit more. Right there, good enough. Engines are off. See, that was a tiny little burn. Let's just go over here. Have a look. How's my electricity doing? Okay, zoom out a bit. Okay, I want to bring my direction up a bit. I just want to get it up onto the exact same plane. I think that's going to be good right there. Okay. So let's just get myself pointing the right direction. Up a little bit to get on trajectory, and I'm going to rotate just there. We go. Okay, let's just have a quick look, make sure that we're still doing good. I was wondering where the heck did Minmus go? Okay, good. So when I get around here, I just gotta hit the brakes, and it'll throw me into an orbit. And that's gonna be, once I make this adjustment, I'll be able to actually make an estimate of what that's gonna cost me in fuel. So I've got 44 seconds left on the main tanks. And that's basically, so I've got 44 seconds of burn on this tank, and then another minute on this tank, so I'm looking good. I think I am looking good. Stop rotating. There's hey, I wonder if we can wave at Jebediah as we go swinging by him. Hi, Jeb. Hey, and when is our encounter time? 8 hours. Minmus periapsis is 9 hours. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, we're just about ready for our burn here. Perfect. Let's kill that. Let's just go have a look and make sure we are, in fact, right where we want to be. Gets a little tricky when you're moving out here like that. Okay, so now, where is the periapsis? I know it was around there somewhere. So we get here, I want to hit the brakes by like a lot. Uh-oh, I think I'm pointing the wrong direction. Oh yeah, that's going to bend me the wrong damn way, shit. So we need to make a course correction. I'm going to say really soon. That's too far out. No, that's too close. No, actually that's not what I want to do. That was interesting. Okay, so that puts me a little bit ahead of it, but I want to be a little more ahead of it than that. I think that's perfect. Where's my pointing? Where am I going? Right there. Oops, wrong way. And then I will add another correction to it to get it pointed back up a little bit. And then we'll take a quick estimate to see how much fuel it'll take to get us into orbit, and then we'll be done. So 30 seconds to the burn. I want to keep a close eye on it though. I want to make sure I'm really... Okay. Right there. Oh well, close enough. Okay, now I'm just going to make another quick little adjustment. Well, that's just, it's hard to move when you're zoomed that far. Oops, whoops, whoops. Right there. Okay. Over this way. And it's just a tiny little burn too. And I can hit that pretty much at any time. This just gets me knowing which way to point. Okay, see, I could do that. Didn't have to wait. I really think we're looking good. Alright, so I'm going to do a quick little estimate to see what it's going to take me to slow down and get into orbit. I think that means I'm actually good. Maybe. Or maybe it means I'm going to crash into it. Who really knows? Okay, what's that? That's Minmus perhaps. It's right there. Oh, look at that. It's a 14-second burn from what it says right now. Oh, I can do this. Hey, that's at 440, so I don't want to just go barreling in. The smaller it is, the better. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna just, I think we're there, I think we're there, I think we're there. Let's go have a look at our little dude. Hey, where's the sun? Oh yeah, look at that. Sunrise over Kerbal. So let's see, our lots and lots of fuel remaining. Excellent, excellent. So the way this guy lands when he comes back, so there's 3 parachutes, one in the middle, one on each side, so 3 parachutes. Plus there's landing gear. This is the science module that I have to bring back in order to get maximum science points. And my goal is to do a low Minmus orbit and do science in the low orbit, and I should get awesome science points for that. And I mean awesome science points. This is mystery goo. You know what, while we're here, let's just open up the science bay and have a look inside. So that's the science bay, that's where we do science. Yay, science. We can open it and close it. Oh, I broke it. I'm going to spin it around because I can. So that's a mystery goo container. We can open that up. And inside here, if we, I don't want to observe the mystery goo because that actually does the science, and you can only use your experiments once unless you have the right thing to reset your experiments, and I don't. So we'll close them. So this is our landing gear. We can actually extend our landing gear if we wanted to. did I not set that up? Oh. Okay, well, too late now. So Mech Jab and we have another battery pack up here just in case. Okay, so for the journey, I have to do my burn in 9 hours, so that's plenty of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to... Okay, there's the moon. Okay, so if we're pointing at the moon, dude is just on the left side of the moon. So Jebediah should be somewhere around there. Yeah, go Jeb. And that's where we're going. So things that we have coming up in the next video will be entering orbit, transferring to a low orbit, and then doing science. And one of the things we do science with is with our brave little astronaut. We're gonna just have him pop out for a second. There he is. We can go down. We can go up. I'm not gonna let go because it scares me. So we're just gonna go back in and be safe inside the capsule. It really scares me getting him out into space. We'll have a look inside. Ooh, space. Okay, so we're doing good. I'm going to quick save this. And in the next video, like I said, we will enter Minmus orbit. Alright, thanks. Cheers.